Okie dokie boys and girls, it is day 294 of bulking to 75 kilos with calisthenics only, and today we have a PR before the workout even started, which is I'm attempting something crazy, and just an attempt might not sound like a PR, but in a way it is, because when you are at a certain level of strength, there are things that you would not even attempt. For example, if you're at a tuck planche, you wouldn't even attempt a full planche, but at some point you're gonna get stronger and you're gonna become strong enough to be able to dream about that next goal, and then you're gonna attempt it. So in itself, the attempt, it's a shift in the mindset. It starts from this belief that there's even 1% or 0.1% chance of you achieving it, which means that you're closer than before. But also, if you can start to believe something, well, then you're gonna achieve it eventually. And today, the training is gonna be a bit like that, because I'm gonna aim for my max volume of Nordic curls in one training PR, which at the moment it's 35 or 36, I believe. I did 5 sets of 7 reps, and today is the first time I'm gonna attempt the same workout, 5 sets of Nordic curls, but with 8 reps. Am I gonna succeed? I have no fucking clue, but I have this feeling that there's a slight chance that at least I can get 3 sets, but perhaps even 4 sets, and if I'm on a very good day, even 5. So yeah, we'll get outside and see what happens there. I wonder what's gonna happen, because yesterday's workout really just fucking destroyed my quadriceps, so that probably also means my CNS is fried, but at the same time, I'm excited today. I have some adrenaline going, because this morning I watched the UFC, and after that, I was looking for tickets to go to Japan again next year. So that's all very exciting, and I'm gonna use the adrenaline, use the excitement to basically get a killer workout, get an insane workout, and hopefully, reach those 40 Nordic curls, which, I don't know, that would be fucking insane, but let's give it a go. Alright, fucking hell. 8 reps might be too ambitious, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from trying. 4 more sets. Alright, fucking hell. I think that's 4 reps. So a little ambitious on today's goal of 5 sets of 8, but I went for it anyway. And yeah, right now I'm not gonna do any more Nordic curls. I think what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna finish off with 1 set of negatives, supersetted with some assisted reps, which is gonna go crazy hard on the hamstrings, making them stronger for the next session. So let's give that a go. Alright, so on these last assisted reps, I'm not placing my finger to push on it as hard as possible. What I'm trying to do is I place my finger and I try to pull it away bit by bit while I'm also pulling as hard as possible with my hamstring. So there's constant load on the hamstring and I'm just trying to remove as much assistance as possible on the way down, slowly, and then once I want to go back up, you know, when I'm at the bottom, I then push extra on my fingers so that I can come up and repeat the process. So the negative portion of the assisted reps is the most important part. You want to spend the most time in there. You want to make it a couple seconds long. But that's it for the Nordic girls. Now I'm gonna head back inside for some hip extensions. Okay, I just had a crazy idea. If I can't get my volume PR on the Nordic curls, then well, why not get a volume PR on the hip extensions? So originally I was gonna go for the same old 3 sets to the max on these hip extensions, and well, I probably would get a volume PR, but let's go a bit further. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and aim for 50 reps in total, which if I just do 3 sets, I'm not gonna reach that. So yeah, that's I think I'm gonna do my sets to the max. Why not? But it's just about holding on a little bit longer, you know, a little bit longer, a little bit more reps, and basically doing better than last time. Because when it comes to volume PRs, well, of course you have to be, you know, quite strong on the day itself if you want to have them, but also you just have to be willing to be there long enough, right, to train long enough, to do enough sets to get to the volume in the end. If today I were to aim for a volume PR on the Nordic curls, I think I would just lead myself back to injury, which is also not what you want. But, you know, for these hip extensions, they're safe. I need to get strong at them, so why not do a little extra? So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's go. Like 17. Alright, so 11 reps or just shy of it on the right, and the exact same thing on the left. Like, it's scary how even my legs are, but I don't think it's only a physical thing, but also a mental thing, because when you have a limit in your mind, your body will work towards it, or your mind will work towards that limit, you know. If I do my right leg and it's like 80% on rep number 11, that's what I'm striving for on the left leg subconsciously, you know. So at 6, I may be tired, but I'll be pushing myself harder to get to those 11 reps because I don't want this one to be weaker. But then once I get to the 11 reps, it's like, okay, now you can start getting tired, you know, or like just before I'm getting to those 11 reps, right? Those 11 reps, I'll be telling myself like, oh yeah, now I'm supposed to feel tired. And then you actually get tired, you know? So, you know, when it comes to physical limits, oftentimes they are imposed by your mental state. And that's something that takes a lot of practice, I think, to get rid of, to surpass. Like even for me, I've been training for 9 years, but it's still something I notice on a day-to-day basis. So, well, the only way you're gonna ever overcome that mental limit is to keep getting at it, but that's just something that you have to be aware of, you know, that your limits are mostly mental. Whatever you are able to dream of, your body will try and adapt to it and get to that level that you are thinking of, you know. But today's training, it was a success because success in a training is not determined by you actually achieving all of your goals. It's determined by you giving it your all, giving your all to all of the goals that you have set. So today, I might have failed on the Nordic curls outside, but I gave it my all, I tried to get to those 5 sets, and when I realized on set number 2 actually, like, this is not gonna happen, I still went for it, still tried to get set number 3, and it results in a positive net, because you're able to give it your all, you're getting stronger, but you also have a benchmark now. You have a benchmark to beat next time. You know what your limit is. Now you just have to surpass it. And when you can dream of just a little bit more, not 2.5 sets, but 3 sets, if you're able to work towards that in your mind, your body will follow. Because whenever you fail, it's not a failure, it's attempt number 1. And as long as you keep training and you keep up sustainable training, you're going to be healthy to try again in the future. But it's this balance of, going hard and then also recovering and doing training that really, like, it strains your body, but it doesn't injure you, right? So that you have longevity and can be consistent. As long as you have that consistency, you can you can attempt your goals over and over and over and over again. So there is no true failure as long as you keep trying. And today it was one of those days, This was attempt number 1 at getting 5 sets of 8 reps. And perhaps next time I'll be able to do attempt number 2, just a little bit better than today. But that's it for today's training. Very happy with how it went, despite not getting my goal, but it's part of the plan. And now I'm just gonna head downstairs, have some lunch, have a shower too, because I don't smell too nice, but yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for a push day.